Have you ever felt like, really getting fluent in English is just for people with some kind of natural language gift? We hear it all the time, right? "Oh, I'm just not good at languages," or "I think I'm too old for this now." What if that's completely missing the mark? What if the real secret isn't talent at all, but something else? Something anyone can build. Something, well, maybe even more powerful and definitely more interesting. Today, that's exactly what we're diving into. Our mission here is to unpack why solid, consistent motivation is really the engine behind fluency, way more important than talent. And then we'll get into a specific, really game-changing technique called shadowing. The idea is it can make your learning journey not just work, but actually feel engaging, exciting even. We're drawing on our source material today to show you how you can maybe shift your whole approach, make it really interesting for you. So, okay, let's start with this big idea. Talent isn't the key. That kind of flies in the face of what a lot of people think, doesn't it? Our sources point out that the people who actually get fluent, they're not always the smartest or the youngest or, most gifted. The thing they all have in common is simpler. They keep going. They keep learning.
Exactly. It's all about persistence. And that persistence is fueled by motivation. Think of motivation as your personal why. It's the energy, right? The thing that pushes you. If you want to travel without struggling or connect with friends overseas, maybe get ahead in your career, that personal reason, that's your power source.
Right. And for something like learning a language, which takes time, you have good days, bad days, that fuel needs to be pretty reliable. So how do we, keep that motivation tank full?
It's almost like a muscle. You can actually train it, grow it, protect it. And the key, according to our sources, is making your learning both enjoyable and meaningful, like genuinely interesting to you. When it connects to your actual life, your passions, it stops feeling like homework and starts feeling, well, like something you want to do. Take the story of Maria. She'd tried English, failed, thought she was just bad at it, classic story. But then she started watching this TV show she absolutely loved, but in English. And she began shadowing the characters, copying how they spoke, their rhythm, everything. Suddenly, it wasn't just learning. It was fun. She was laughing, getting curious. And guess what? 6 months later, she gave a whole university presentation in English.
Yeah. So that's a huge shift.
It was the motivation sparked by making it enjoyable and meaningful that changed everything for her.
So, okay, for you listening right now, the question becomes, why do you want to speak English? Really think about it. What becomes possible for you? Defining that why for yourself is probably more powerful than memorizing any grammar rule. Okay, so if we've got that motivation burning, how do we actually turn that energy into, like, speaking better, more fluently? This brings us to shadowing. You mentioned Maria used it. It sounds like a really potent technique.
Oh, it is. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly effective. Basically, you listen to spoken English, ideally a native speaker, and you repeat what you hear almost immediately, right after them or even along with them. And you're not just saying the words, you're really trying to copy everything, the pronunciation, the rhythm, the ups and downs of the voice, the emotion even, like being their vocal shadow.
Okay. So it's less about translating in your head and more about getting your mouth and brain working together in English.
Precisely. You're listening actively, you're repeating quickly, you're copying the whole music of the language. And importantly, you do it without stopping to pick apart the grammar. You just try to flow with it. Actors use it, interpreters use it, loads of successful language learners swear by it because it really trains your brain to start thinking in English.
That's fascinating. So, okay, beyond just, feeling good doing it, what are the concrete benefits? What does shadowing actually do for your speaking?
Well, first off, it builds muscle memory for speaking English. Think about an athlete, right? They practice moves over and over until they're automatic. Shadowing does that for your mouth. You're training your tongue, your lips, everything to make sounds and rhythms that might be new. Eventually becomes automatic, like tying your shoes. You don't think, you just do it.
That makes total sense. It's physical too, not just mental.
Exactly. Second, It dramatically improves your pronunciation. A lot of learners worry about having a heavy accent. When you copy a native speaker directly, you start picking up the melody of English, the intonation, the stress patterns, the rhythm, like what do you want to do? Often sounds more like, what do you want to do in fast speech. Shadowing helps you hear that, and crucially, produce it naturally. Makes you sound much more fluent.
And I guess that leads straight into speaking faster and smoother overall.
You got it. It builds what's called automaticity. That means speaking without constantly pausing to search for words or figure out grammar. It's like driving a car. Once you've learned, you're not thinking about every single little action, right? You just drive. Shadowing helps you just speak.
And the final piece, confidence. Which brings us back to motivation, really.
Absolutely. And this might be the biggest benefit. When you practice speaking out loud every day, even just repeating, it builds bravery. You get used to the sound of your own voice speaking English. So real conversations start to feel less scary, more familiar. Many learners say they start feeling like English speakers long before they have complex conversations, just because they've practiced sounding like one.
That's a powerful feeling. But okay, what about someone just starting out? Maybe they're thinking, isn't this too hard for a beginner?
That's a fair question,
Hmm.
but no, shadowing can be adapted for any level. The trick for beginners is to start really small. Use super short clips, like 5 or 10 seconds. That's it. You can slow the audio down too. Lots of apps let you do that. Repeat it many times. And crucially, pick something you genuinely find interesting. If you like the topic, you'll stick with it. That enjoyment factor is key.
Right. So recap, listen, repeat immediately, copy the sound and rhythm, train your mouth and brain, get fluent faster, feel more confident, and all you need is your voice, a recording, and a few minutes. Seems doable. Okay, understanding what shadowing is and how it helps is great, but knowing a bit about the science behind it, that can really cement why it's so effective, right? It's not just some random trick, it's based on how our brains actually learn language.
Exactly. It taps right into neuroplasticity. That's the brain's amazing ability to change and build new connections through practice. When you shadow consistently, you're literally carving out new pathways in your brain for English. Imagine walking through a dense forest every day on the same route. Eventually, a clear path forms, right? Shadowing does that mentally. It builds an English road in your brain.
So what parts of the brain are getting this workout?
Well, there are 3 main areas working hard. First, your auditory cortex. That's the listener part. It processes the sounds of English, recognizes the rhythm, the melody. Shadowing trains it to pick up on correct native pronunciation instantly. This helps both your listening skills and your own speaking because you're wiring in those authentic sounds.
Okay, so that's the input. What about when we actually make the sounds ourselves?
That engages your motor cortex, the speaker part. This controls all the muscles in your mouth, tongue, throat. English has sounds that might not exist in your native language, like the, or the difference between ship and sheep. Shadowing is direct practice for your mouth muscles to learn how to shape these sounds accurately and smoothly. It's motor learning, just like learning to play an instrument or a sport.
Got it. And the thinking part. Grammar, words.
That involves the prefrontal cortex, the decision maker. Now, normally it's busy processing grammar rules, finding vocabulary, but shadowing helps reduce the overthinking that often trips learners up. Trying to get every single rule perfect before speaking. Instead, it trains your brain to trust the patterns, to let the language flow based on what you've heard and repeated. It builds fluency through repetition, not just conscious analysis.
So it's like building muscle memory for the whole flow, not just sounds. And it mimics being immersed, like living abroad.
Precisely. Shadowing lets you create your own little English bubble wherever you are. And the goal, as we mentioned, is that automaticity, being able to speak without thinking about how you're speaking. Think about knowing the lyrics to a song you love. You just sing along like effortlessly. Shadowing aims to build that kind of intuitive response for speaking English.
It's really amazing how adaptable our brains are. Okay, the science makes sense, but now let's get super practical. How does someone, especially a beginner, actually start doing this? Let's lay out a clear plan.
All right, let's break it down into steps. Remember, for beginners, small and consistent is the way to go. Step 1. Choose your material. Find something short, maybe 10, 15 seconds max to start. Make sure it's clear audio, preferably a native speaker. And, super important, pick something you find interesting.
Okay, interesting. Like what?
Could be a short clip from YouTube with subtitles, maybe a line from a movie or TV show you like, a bit of a motivational speech, even a kid's audiobook or a slow podcast. Just needs to be clear.
Got it. So lean into that motivation we talked about earlier. Find something fun.
Definitely. Step 2. Listen carefully. Before you speak, just listen. Play the short clip maybe 3 or 4 times. Really tune your ears into the pronunciation, the intonation, where the stress falls, how words kind of link together, like I'm going to becoming I'm gonna.
So listening for the music, not just the words. Okay, then what?
Then, step 3, shadow along. Play the audio again, and this time repeat immediately, right after the speaker, or even try to speak at the exact same time. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try to copy the sound, the rhythm, the feeling, and do it out loud, maybe 5 times or more.
Out loud is key, even if it feels a bit weird at first.
Absolutely. Got to train those mouth muscles. Step 4, read the transcript and understand. After you've shadowed a bit, look at the text. Check any words you don't know. Get the basic meaning. Connect the sounds you were making with what it actually means. If the speaker sounded surprised, practice saying it with surprise. Link sound, meaning, and emotion.
Connecting sound and sense. Makes sense.
Crucial. Step 5. Shadow, without looking. Now go back to just listening and shadowing again, but without reading the transcript. Rely on your ears and your memory. This helps it sink in, helps your mouth move more naturally.
Okay. And how do we know if we're improving?
Good question. Step 6. Record yourself and compare. Use your phone mostly either. Have a voice recorder. Record yourself shadowing the clip. Then listen to the original and listen to your recording. Compare them. Notice any small differences in sounds or rhythm. Don't beat yourself up. Just notice, maybe pick one thing to focus on next time and repeat.
Self-correction without judgment. Nice. And the final step.
Step 7. Practice daily. Short sessions. This is maybe the most important. Consistency trumps intensity. Aim for just 5 or 10 minutes every single day. Pick a new short clip each day or work on the same one for a couple of days. Run through these steps. Listen, shadow with text, understand, shadow without text, maybe record, compare. That daily habit builds momentum.
That's a really clear blueprint. Simple steps, repeated daily. What are some common pitfalls beginners should watch out for?
Yeah, good point. Avoid trying to shadow really long videos at first. Stick to short ones. Don't mumble, speak clearly and confidently, even if you make mistakes. Don't just focus on getting individual words right. Try to catch the overall rhythm and flow. Big one.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged. Mistakes are totally normal. They mean you're learning. And lastly, don't shadow stuff you don't understand. Always connect the sound to the meaning. Otherwise, it's just mimicry without learning.
Great tips. This whole process sounds very manageable and actually genuinely interesting, not just another boring drill. We've got the science, the steps. But let's face it, sticking with something long-term often comes down to making it fun. Learning English shouldn't feel like a punishment, right? Especially if our focus is making it really interesting. So this part is all about creative, maybe even playful ways to keep your shadowing practice fresh and exciting.
Exactly. The more you enjoy it, the more likely you are to do it consistently.
Yeah.
And that consistency is what leads to real progress.
Yeah.
So idea number 1, shadow your favorite characters. Pick someone from a TV show, a movie, even a cartoon you love. Try to mimic their voice, their accent, their emotion. It's like acting. And that emotion really helps things stick in your memory.
Huh. I love that. You get to be someone else for a few minutes. What about using music?
Oh, yeah. Turn song lyrics into shadowing practice. Music has rhythm, emotion. It's perfect. Choose a song where the lyrics are fairly clear and not too fast. Listen to one line, pause, repeat it out loud. Try to match the singer's stress, their melody. Maybe start with something like the Beatles' Let It Be or John Lennon's Imagine clear vocals.
Singing along but with intention. Cool. Any tech angles?
Sure. Use voice assistants or AI tools. Got a smart speaker? Or an AI chat tool on your phone. Practice asking it short questions, then when it replies, shadow its response. Try to copy its intonation and speed. It's interactive, gives you something to respond to.
Turns your gadget into a practice buddy. What about getting physical?
Yes. Add movement while shadowing. Believe it or not, studies show moving can help memory. So don't just sit at your desk. Walk around your room while you shadow. Or go outside with headphones. You can even act out the phrases a bit, like saying, I'm running late, while maybe jogging lightly in place. Adds another dimension.
Kind of like total physical response, but for shadowing. Smart.
Another idea. Record a mini podcast or voice diary. After you shadow a sentence or two, record yourself saying it. Then add a sentence of your own reflection in English, like, this phrase is useful for. Over time, you build this audio diary of your progress. You can listen back and actually hear yourself improving, which is super motivating.
That builds in reflection and creation, too. Love it.
There are others, too, like making playlists by topic, challenging yourself with different voices, joining online shadowing challenges. The point is to find what sparks your interest.
These are fantastic, creative ideas. It really drives home that point. Make it fun, make it interesting for you, and you'll stick with it, and that's how you grow.
Okay, we've covered the why, the how, the science, the fun ways to practice. But maybe, just maybe, there's still a little voice in your head going, yeah, but can I actually do this? Can I become fluent? To really build that belief, let's talk about some real people, real transformations, folks who started right where you might be now.
These stories are so important because they show it's not about magic, it's about consistent effort. Take Ayumi from Japan. She described herself as a silent student, totally freezing up when asked to speak. Then she found shadowing. Started with just 10 minutes a day, shadowing TED Talks. It was hard at first, she stumbled, but she kept at it. After about 3 months, she noticed something amazing. Her mouth wasn't freezing anymore. She was starting to think in English fragments. Later that year, she gave a short presentation in English at her school. She actually said, shadowing helped me become friends with my voice.
Wow, from silent to speaker. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
What about someone focused on, say, career goals? Right. Look at Daniel from Brazil. He needed better English for job interviews at international tech companies. His skills were okay, but not confident. So he committed to 15 minutes of daily shadowing, specifically focusing on videos about professional English, workplace conversations, interview answers. He practiced saying things like, let me walk you through my experience, over and over. 2 months later, he had an interview with a U.S. company. He said it felt like he was just repeating lines he'd practiced hundreds of times. He nailed it, got the job. He credits shadowing for making him sound natural and confident.
That's proof that targeted practice, making it meaningful for your specific goal, really pays off.
And there are others. Lena from Ukraine, who used scenes from Pride and Prejudice, her favorite movie, to connect emotionally. Mohammed from Egypt, who built confidence just practicing in front of a mirror daily.
It sounds like the common threads are starting small, doing it every day, using material they genuinely enjoyed or needed, speaking out loud, and really believing that effort beats innate talent. These stories prove it's possible, right? Wherever you are, teacher or no teacher, if they could do it.
You absolutely can too. And that brings us to the final, maybe the most crucial step, shifting your mindset. Making English a part of who you are. It's not about replacing your identity. It's about seeing English as a tool that belongs to you, a skill you own, a voice you can use to express your unique self. When English becomes part of your identity, you stop learning just for a test or because you should. You learn because it's part of you. That changes everything.
That feels like a really deep shift. How do we actually cultivate that mindset?
First step, and it sounds simple, but it's powerful. Stop saying I'm not fluent. Start saying I'm an English speaker. Think about it. If you understand what we're saying now, if you've tried shadowing even one sentence, if you speak any English aloud, you are an English speaker. Maybe a beginner speaker, maybe intermediate, but a speaker nonetheless. Your brain listens to your self-talk. Tell yourself you are, and your actions will follow.
It's like claiming it. Okay, what else?
Create an English environment. Surround yourself. Change your phone language to English. Change your computer language. Follow English accounts on social media. Write your shopping lists in English, your to-do lists. Maybe even stick little notes on things around your house. Talk to yourself in English sometimes. It's about passive exposure, soaking it in without actively studying.
Immersing yourself without getting on a plane. Clever. But what about that fear of making mistakes when you actually try to speak?
You have to tackle that head on. Speak first. Think later. Seriously. Perfectionism is the enemy of fluency. If you're talking and forget a word, use a simpler one. Or describe it. If you make a grammar mistake, who cares? Smile, keep going. Your brain learns from trying, from repetition, not from perfect hesitation. Just get the words out. Refine later.
Letting go of perfection, that's freeing. And we talked about emotion helping memory.
Yes. Build emotional connections with English. Don't just learn dry vocabulary lists. Watch a comedy in English that makes you genuinely laugh out loud. Read a story that gives you goosebumps. Listen to a speech that truly inspires you. Write about something personal in an English journal. The stronger the emotion, positive or negative, the deeper the memory trace. You stop studying English and start experiencing life through it.
That makes it so much richer. And finally, making it truly yours.
Let English reflect the real you. You don't need to sound like a newsreader or a textbook character unless you want to. The goal is to find your voice in English. Use words and talk about topics that matter to you. Let your unique personality, your opinions, your humor shine through. The more you practice expressing your true self, the more authentic and comfortable you'll become.
So this whole journey, finding the motivation, using a tool like shadowing, learning from others, and finally, weaving English into your identity. It really is a transformation, isn't it? Every little effort, every sentence spoken aloud is shaping you into a more confident communicator. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to think about. What if that final hurdle to fluency isn't about learning more grammar, but about fundamentally changing how you see yourself in relation to English? Are you just learning English? Or are you ready to start living it?
That's the core question. You are already becoming an English speaker. Let me leave you with this powerful thought from our source material, something to maybe repeat to yourself. I am an English speaker, and I'm just getting started.
I love that. I'm just getting started. So your challenge for today, if you're up for it, is super simple. Pick just one sentence from this conversation, from a song, anything. Listen to it carefully. Repeat it using the shadowing technique and speak it out loud. Start building that voice, that rhythm, that confidence right now. You can do this.